So my hope is that you're getting an easy to read and understand financial report that makes decisions about your nonprofit easy and actionable. But my experience says you're probably not. So I wanted to give you some ideas on what to do if you're getting a report that is really difficult and hard to make sense of. Two sections of those report, you should have two types of reports at a minimum. So I'm going to talk about both of those. The first one is a balance sheet. In nonprofit world, we call it a statement of financial position, but they're really the same. So if you're getting one of those, this is what we're talking about. You're going to first ask about the cash balances. If it's not clear, you want to know, where are those funds at? What bank account are those funds at? And then you should be asking periodically and having access to see the bank reconciliations. You're looking at that to make sure it makes sense. Are there really old outstanding items that shouldn't be there? Are there really old deposits that haven't cleared the bank yet? And other things that I'm sure will pop out at you if you just get a chance to look at it. Next, you also want to inquire about all those other little balances on the balance sheet, on the liabilities. I have seen it countless times that there are balances in there, something that's gone wrong. Recently had a situation looking at, had over $4,000 in payroll taxes with an opposite balance of what they should have been. So it claimed that there were payroll taxes that had been overpaid, when in reality that wasn't the case. So you want to be asking about any kind of balance that you're seeing on your balance sheet report. And I hope you have a net asset section that really does show whether there are restrictions and then what those balances are. This is critical. So if you're not getting that, I really want to refer you back to some of my other posts. You can search the topic net assets or fund accounting. You'll hear me talk quite a bit about this. Really think it's an essential step for a nonprofit to get in order. Next is your profit and loss statement, your income statement or statement of activities, all synonymous, but probably one of those titles on a report. Okay, with this one again here, you're going to look at balances. You should be able to see activity for the month and year to date or for the fiscal year. And you need to look to say, do these things make sense? Do they make sense based on what you know, based on the conversations you're having? And it's good to run some ratios, some calculations based on relationships that you know exist in your nonprofit. Here's a couple of examples. You can run a salaries to total income. So what percentage of your income is being spent on salaries? Another one is payroll taxes as a percentage of salaries. The tax rate, depending on where you're at, varies, but you should know what that is, and you should be able to compare the result of that answer to that percentage and understand the difference. There is another relationship of credit card processing fees to total donations. If you receive a lot of gifts that are paid via credit cards or bank cards, you'll want to see what that relationship looks like. What about your facilities expense? Look at them as a total of your, compared to the total of your budget. Does that relationship make sense? And one more, fundraising expenses. Look at them as a percentage of your related fundraising income. These questions are going to get the conversation going in the right direction. See, we can all suffer from groupthink, or maybe we could say that that silence has a powerful cycle, that the more silent we are, or the time we delay asking the question, even the next time it gets harder to ask the question. So it gets harder the longer time goes by. And so I just want to invite you, if you're a new board member or new finance committee member, or maybe a new executive in a nonprofit, now's the time to start asking all those questions. And if not, then I want to invite you to find a posture that says, hey, this is a new season. It's a season of asking and learning. Because I promise you, if the financial report doesn't make sense, you're either going to learn something or the reporting is going to get better, or maybe both. So I just want to let you know, if this was all too much, or maybe you need to slow it down and talk through it a little bit further, I'm happy to help you. You can schedule a strategic consult on my website today with me. And if you are looking for that, it's on my homepage of my website, or there'll be a link here where you're watching. I look forward to helping you.